Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Captain Clyde's MTG. It's Thanksgiving. What better way to celebrate than, well, looking at Magic cards? So we got the new Secret Lair deck, 20 Ways to Win. 4 more cards have come out, and, well, it's finally starting to get better as far as cards that are actually worth a damn to have some value. So, before we get started, don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. The comments down below will feed the YouTube algorithm. Also, there's links in there for TCG, Player, eBay, all the places you can buy cards to help support the channel. The giveaway information is down there, so you can log in and get your chance to win some free stuff. Also, there is the YouTube stuff. You can always subscribe on YouTube for as little as $1 a day to support the channel and give thanks to all the shenanigans I talk and BS that walks, especially straight out of this mouth. Anyway, so let's think about it and love what we've got for 20 Ways to Win. Or actually probably just hate it. It's how Wizards rolls. So, our first one we have is number 15, Bull in a China Shop. That's right, win using the Hellkite Tyrant. So we get a reprint of Hellkite Tyrant. It's 2 red and 4 colorless for a 6/5 Flying Trample. That's right, the old Flampler. So whenever Hellkite Tyrant deals combat damage to a player, gain control of all artifacts that player controls. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 20 or more artifacts, you win the game. So, I don't know about you guys, but this seems doable. And not so hard either. I mean, everybody's playing Mana Rocks in Commander, right? So, like, slapping somebody up the face and taking 5 or 6 of their Mana Rocks, plus you've already got 5 or 6 Mana Rocks, and then maybe Time Walk or take an extra attack phase and slap somebody else, take all their Mana Rocks. Like, there's loads of artifacts that you can steal in Commander to make this card win, and win very easily. And let's also be fair, maybe you win with it, maybe you don't. But if you get a chance to hit somebody with this and steal all their shit, I think mission accomplished, because it's going to be a very satisfying feeling. Also going to make you a target by the whole table, but hey, what can you do when you want to have some shenanigans, right? So moving on, next we have number 16. We have Counterpunch. That's right, it's Simic Ascendancy. So to win with this, you need a blue and a green to cast it. It's an enchantment. For a blue, green, and 1, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Now, whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put onto a creature you control, put that many growth counters on this enchantment. Now, at the beginning of your upkeep, if this enchantment has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game. So, very interesting way to win. It may seem, as a opening scenario, that this is just silly, and it's not going to work well. But if you do remember the other cards that we have looked at, a lot of those cards do get +1/+1 counters. One of those is if you have 23 or 20 +1/+1 counters on this creature, you win. This is a good way to not only kind of double jeopardy somebody, because if you have the creature, it needs 20 counters, and you have Ascendancy out, putting counters on the creature, which then doubles those counters, and you get that many growth counters, they have to kill both. And even if they kill the creature, they have to stop the Ascendancy somehow, which it's easily killable in Commander. Lots of options, right? But still, they have to draw it. And the more creatures you lay, even if your creature doesn't get to 20, all the creatures, well, a good large sum of them, have ways to get counters, which are going to feed this, which means all you got to do is draw a creature, and then for 3 mana, you can start putting more growth counters on it. Once you get to 20, it is game over, or should I say game finished, because you win. So I think this is an interesting addition that actually might be more playable than this card has been in the past, just to be fair. So, yeah, not terrible. Not great. But at the same time, it's just fine. And again, we have your normal trash panda stealing barrels of alcohol, I guess, and running off into town. That is a wow. He's actually walking on the thing. Yeah, that's a large trash panda. Wow, my bad. Anyway, so moving on. Way to win number 17 is the 8th Wonder of the World. That's right, when using mechanized production. So this card's actually pretty cool. Has a little bit of a following, does see some play, not a lot, but for 2 blue and 2, it's an aura enchantment where you enchant one of your artifacts. Beginning of your upkeep, get the create a token that's a copy of the artifact, of the enchanted artifact. If you control 8 or more of these of the same name as one another, you win the game. This can be very cool when you start doing things like, I don't know, copying your Soul Ring, or honestly, any of your mana rocks. But also what's incredible about this is it says artifact. It could be any artifact. It could be big mana rocks. It could be Howling Mines. It could be your mana vault. If you're playing Time Vault because you got more money than sense, you can copy those too and just start taking turn after turn after turn after turn and things and stuff. But if you're playing Mana Vault, you better be twiddling the hell out of it. But anyway, so this has a little bit of value. It's nice to see some cards with value finally. Also, just to be able to enchant artifacts is amazing. And don't forget, we've also seen the Hellfire Tyrant, which now tells me there'll be plenty of artifacts in this deck because, well, A, you need to enchant one you control, and B, you can assume that you'll get to hit somebody with a Hellkite Tyrant and take all their shit and enchant their shit. But the easiest way to do that is just lay mana rocks, and on turn 4, just mechanize production your own shit. And then just let the good times roll. Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see what the rest of this deck entails, because it's really going to matter. Really, really going to matter what else is in the deck. And I hope it's put together well, because to be honest, even with these last couple cards being better than average, overall, the deck's not really shaping up to be that great. And that's just not my opinion. Many people are starting to take online that once thought this would be a cool idea to see it as a, kind of a lame duck attempt to just sell cards that are bad for no reason with no value at a higher price. Notice again, these cards that we've looked at today, 2 of them out of the 3 already do not have additional art, which means they're just doing reprints, which is fine. But it also means the cards won't be any more expensive because they're not special other than the little shooting star. Ooh, star. So, it gets a gold star, right? Ba-dum-bum. So moving on to the last card, we have the 18. That's right, it's Gatecrasher, the good old Maze's End. So, Maze's End, land enters tap, taps for a colorless for a 3 and tap, return this land to its owner's control, search for a gate, put it into play. If you have 10 more gates with different names in play, you win the game. Obviously, as commander, you can only have one of every gate. So, I think we all expected this to be in here, and at least it's got different art. But at the same time, not an expensive card. Also, the other drawback to this, which makes this deck really not that hot, is you're gonna play a lot of gates, and all the gates come into play tapped, meaning you're always going to play a turn behind. Unless, for some reason, they put an amulet in here so that your land is coming to play untapped, but that thing's so expensive, and almost positive they won't reprint it into this, when they could probably reprint into something else, like a set that has packs, to drive the cost up and charge more. So, what can you do? But hey, 2 out of 4 got new art. Not terrible. And to be fair, to be completely fair, this is probably the most appropriate art for Maze's End I have ever seen. Just a giant shenanigan shit show of creatures in a forest, throwing a party, probably waking up buck naked, not knowing what happened, making platypuses. Just saying. Not that the platypus isn't really an animal, but it's definitely several of them. Anyway, So there you have it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a good Thanksgiving. Stay tuned. The good stuff's going to come tomorrow because, after you get done spending a bunch of money shopping, why shouldn't I just piss you off? So until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table.